Good morning, it's July 17th. It's about 23 degrees. There's a risk of thunderstorms later this morning. Don't think that will impact this walk. I hope not. Also a bit of smoke in the air. If you look, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there's a slight orangish tint to the sunlight that you see through the trees. That's a sure sign there's smoke up in the atmosphere. And that's from forest fires to the north and west of us. Going to be another warm one today. Go up into the 30s. Don't know how far into the 30s today. The odd thing about the smoke is that it actually can reduce the temperature, obviously. And if we get some rain, that would be nice. About 11 is what they're calling for. I'm going to walk over the general direction of the community garden that I've been to a few times. Not very directly there, I wouldn't think, because I'm going to, zig and zag like I usually do. Sometimes on Saturday I drive somewhere else in Regina and walk further afield. Not doing that today, partly because I'm not entirely sure when I might get rained on, if I'm going to get rained on, and partly because we've got other things to do, and that takes more time. Might do it tomorrow then, go somewhere else. In the city, maybe somewhere I haven't been before. Well, let's go down Robinson here. Is this the one that has another way up at the end? Lead to that usual footbridge. Yesterday. Unstable ocean. Look. Suppose I shouldn't walk down the middle of the road. Oh, there's a hare, snowshoe hare, or a bunny if you prefer, staring at me. It's not really a rabbit, he's a snowshoe hare, I believe. Difference between hares and rabbits probably only matter to other hares and rabbits, but they aren't the same species. Did a little bit on the tangled stars yesterday. I just had a hard time. I've had a hard time finding large, uninterrupted chunks of time to work on that. And I don't know. I don't quite know why this one has been, when I'm reading it and revising it, I quite like it, which is good because it's mine, but the two things don't necessarily follow. I can tell I will be hot before long, especially if the sun makes more of an appearance than it is right now. Yes, I did run into those weeds. So if anybody's out there on YouTube or Facebook, say hello. There's enough of a haze I might be able to read the screen a little more easily. Yesterday it went really dark, and I don't think it was just my eyes. When I tried to turn up the light on the screen itself, it didn't make any difference. So, there's this big new house that we've been watching being built. Like a nice one. Here comes the footbridge. Having some people over tonight, kind of to celebrate. It's the start of the celebration of my birthday this week. We do like to stretch it out. Busy bridge today. Well, I could press the button, but it doesn't look like I need to. Along Regina Avenue here. There's a nice front garden. A couple of them. Quite lovely. I like the looks of that. Again, I wouldn't mind doing it in our front yard if I really thought it would grow. Ours might be more suited to this without anything growing because it's very shaded. All right, well, we'll start sort of zigzagging from here in the direction we want to go. Up Garnet Street to start with. So the song running through my head today is Stairway to Heaven. If there's a bustle in your hedgerow, don't be alarmed now. Just a spring clean for the May Queen. Yes, there are two ways you can go now, but in the long run. Yeah, it was playing on the, well, it's not exactly the radio. Just playing off of my iPhone while I was in the car from whatever the last, I think I'd asked Siri to play classic rock, and it's still playing classic rock every time I get in the car, so. Jack and Diane was on before that. Little ditty about Jack and Diane. Two American kids growing up in the heartland. Yeah, that's my era. 70s. I can play Stairway to Heaven. on the piano. So that's one reason I liked it. I had this feeling our drum major actually arranged Stairway to Heaven as a marching band number, and that we did that at a football game halftime at Harding University in Searcy, Arkansas. I think that's what happened. It's awfully long, though. Already, part 2, July 17th still. I had a phone call, and I think it interrupted the YouTube feed if I saw the message. They go by fast, but I think that's what I saw. So I decided to restart the feed. We'll go for my daughter. She and some friends are trying to find a place to live in Toronto for their university year. They have in-person classes, at least a couple in the first semester and all of them in the second semester is the plan. So that's what that was about, and I found a place. And if you're just joining me now, I'm sort of wandering off in the direction of the community garden, which I've been to before. Which is off to my right and a bit further south. I'm currently heading south. This is McCallum, which of course I walked along street by street between Regina Avenue and McCallum a couple of days ago. This time we will continue south and west. There are, theoretically, thunderstorms headed this way. I set my phone to silent so it doesn't accept calls, but it always accepts calls from family, so. And it always, not surprisingly, getting a call will usually mess up the live feed stream in some way. The app doesn't record it, but it, in that instant, at least, it looked like it went down. And whether it did or not, it's just easier to restart, and then I will splice it together for the final YouTube version, and that will vanish. This is actually a crosswalk. There's nobody coming anyway, so we will cross. So again, if you're on YouTube or Facebook and you want to say hi, good day to do it. There's enough haze from smoke and possibly some cloud that I can see the screen pretty well. Place for sale, if you're looking. 2 of them side by side. For sale by, oh, that's, well, you wouldn't call it that. That's not quite a Harding swing, but Harding University, where I went to school in Arkansas, was noted for these wooden swings that you can sit on with your girlfriend. That's usually who you end up sitting with, or some friend anyway. And I don't know, I doubt they invented them, but we always called them Harding swings. And then Western Christian College, where I went to high school and where my dad taught, had some as well, same pattern. So anytime I see a wooden swing like that, I think Harding swing, and I think of Harding University. I think it was still Harding College when I started there, and it turned into Harding University while I was there, if I remember right. Something to do with having a second campus. I don't remember what the definition of university was. It changed it from just being a college. There's two new matching houses, little ones. Most of the new ones that are built are big. Of course, not everybody wants or can afford a big house, so to see they're still making nice small ones. "21st Avenue, if you're counting. Oof! Watch out for that hole in the sidewalk. Too late now. Oof, oof. That's kind of a nice house. I like the looks of that one. I've walked by that big one over there going the other way. Well, so far nobody has said hello on either feed. If you're there, say hi. We have sculpture in the front. A little unusual. Best thing about having a cat instead of a dog is that cats don't bark. As far as I'm concerned, that's the best thing. That and not having to walk them. Not that I'm opposed to walking, as you can see, but probably not the walking the dog I would mind. It's the scooping up after the dog that I'd rather not have to worry about. I mentioned yesterday's walk. I had my physical yesterday, and it turns out my doctor, who's 10 years older than me, also walks. He doesn't live stream, but he walks a similar amount every day. So it's doctor approved, you might say. This is the Lakeview Par 3 golf course coming up here. Won't walk in there because, you know, golf balls. Something else that sometimes happens when the stream is interrupted is the Facebook one goes silent. So if you can't hear me, that could be why. These are nice. If you're on Facebook and you can't hear me, let me know. That just doesn't work. guess I'm right down at the south end of the golf course already. I didn't think I'd be that far. Eventually, at some point in this walk, I will come to the community garden, which is what I labeled this. But again, it's a very indirect route I'm taking. Oh, I know where I am. Always a good thing. This is Hill Avenue now. That is an old school, but it's actually the Seventh-day Adventist Church now, over here. Maybe that's still a school, I don't know. And there's another church over there, which I've walked by before. And perhaps will again right now. That's a fire station ahead of us. Or at least it was. It isn't now. It's got a Regina Community Health. There's the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Oh yeah, so that's the Curtis Horn Christian School there. What that is. Maybe this isn't a fire hall anymore, because it actually has the Regina Community Health District sign on it. I guess I don't, Health Regions, I guess I don't know what that building's being used for now. Over here is Redeemer or Reformation Church, which is kind of a cool looking building. Still nobody has said hello. Guess I'm boring everyone today. Well, no, I can't be because nobody's there. Well, the walking is for me, as much as for you, faithful viewers. Actually, it's more for me than for you, faithful viewers, but I hope you enjoy it when you do watch it. It's just a shame because I could see the screen today. I could respond so quickly to any comments, and there aren't any. It's a shame. This is Queen Street. As I said before, there's a queen, a king, a princess, and a coronation. I think this is one that was, yes it is. Well, this is the community garden coming up over here. This street, when I walked earlier in the year, was under construction. Clearly they're done with that. Brand new sidewalks, new pavement. Very nice street. Needs stripes. I'm sure those will come. Roads around here, they always start off this way, perfectly smooth and black and lovely. Give them a couple of winters and they're potholed and cracked like everything else. Well, probably not a pothole for a while, but they all get there in the end with the freeze-thaw cycle. You get a crack, you get water, it freezes before you know it, or it leaches out what's underneath supporting the road, and before you know it, there's a pothole. Oh, nice breeze there. So over here is the park that I will have walked through before and will probably walk through again after I've walked into the garden. I usually come up on the garden from a different direction. But there it is with the Vixikansky gazebo in the middle of it. So we'll take a turn in there and see how things are looking. There's a storm channel down here with very little water in it at the moment. It's very dry right now. Wasn't too indirect a route over here, I guess. Zigzag, but I don't think it would have been the same distance, pretty much. So here we go. Grow Regina with this is also a Vixikansky piece here. We have smaller versions of something very similar to that. It's really coming along nicely here. Orchard over here. I think people are growing more vegetables and stuff than they are flowers in here, which makes sense because they're not really, display gardens. There are some flowers, but a lot of it is corn and other vegetables. Just take a look in the gazebo, which I've been in before, but last time I came along here, there was somebody in here. So it has the nice canopy that looks like a tree and leaves. And then down here, there's vegetables of various sorts. We got peas and tomatoes. Oh yes, and radishes, of course, down there. So, very nice space, as you can see. And then there's the garden. Not too many people out. I thought they'd be busier in the cool of the day. There are some out working, like over there. So I guess I'll go that way, just to be different, as I leave here. Grow Regina. Church. I'm going to head over there into the park, I think, instead of continuing through the streets here. Walk down to the end of it, and then should be about the right time to head home. Since nobody seems to be watching anyway. Perhaps I lost the feed permanently and it didn't come back, I don't know. You can never tell when it gets interrupted, what's going on at the other end. This street was also being worked on first time I came to the garden. And now, close to the airport. So they've taken off, heading somewhere exciting. Or not. Could be Calgary. Not to say that Calgary's not exciting. Well, that was sort of to say Calgary's not exciting. It's relatively exciting. Believe me, I know what they think of Regina and Calgary, so. Walk through the grass here. We'll walk down to the footbridge down here. And of course, there's somebody with a dog. There's always somebody with a dog. Big dog, too. Nice breeze though. Well, I said Stairway Through to Heaven was running in my head, but now it's Jack and Diane just because I mentioned it in passing and sang a little snatch of it. Now that's what's in my head. So let it rock, let it roll. Let the Bible Belt come and save your soul. Hold on to 16 as long as you can. To come around real soon, make us women and men. "16. I was in grade 12. I was 16 when I graduated from high school, from having skipped a grade and having a summer birthday. Turned 17 the following month. This month. In 1976, bicentennial year in the States. Viking lands on Mars on my birthday, my 17th birthday. We were the class of 76. And we had enough Americans in our class that our sign we painted on the, there was this structure. I was never entirely sure what it was. Concrete wall. It may have been used for, like, to back up when they were doing target practice or something. Small arms. We just called it the concrete wall or something like that. Not very exciting. But we took, starting in 72 maybe, the graduating classes started painting their dates on that wall. So when it was our turn in 76, ours looked very much like the 76 from the bicentennial celebrations, as red, white, and blue. It's still there, it's fading. I think members of our class have been talking about repainting it. This was our 45th, I guess. That doesn't seem right, but there you go. 45th reunion year, and we did have a Zoom get-together for those of us who could make it. For the 40th, 2016, we had a get-together down in Weyburn, and where my best friend from high school, John Smith, he prefers Scrawny, at least he did, which was his nickname. He married a girl named Jane too. Is the preacher at the Church of Christ down there. So we had our 40th there in the annex at the church building and other places. I was only there in a couple of hours because I was doing the Addams Family with Regina Lyric Musical Theater. I was playing Lurch, and that was like our show weekend, or the weekend before our show weekend or something. So I had to get back for rehearsal. But it was nice to see people. Hopefully for our 50th we'll have an in-person one. I remember the 50th year classes at homecomings at Western when I was in high school, and I thought how old they were. Now, I don't feel particularly old, even though I'm coming up on my 50th high school reunion. Of course, that's still 5 years from now, so maybe I'll feel older then. But most of the time, I don't feel old. I just feel the same as I always did. Give or take an aching pain or two, I guess. And as I said, I had my physical yesterday. Talked to Dr. McMillan, a doctor, and he's 72. He says he never thinks of himself as 72. It's just a number. I like that from my doctor. Plus he says nice things like, "You're doing well." I like that too from a doctor. I won't go over to the other side of the park. I think it's about time I headed back. I have walked down there, but it goes down quite a ways further yet. I don't need to go that far today. So we will come back this way and start wending our way back home. Again, I seem to be entirely alone on this walk for the live portion, so you're probably watching the recording, so I hope you're enjoying it. Big park here. We'll go back into it once I see a path. I could walk through the grass, but there's probably no mosquitoes to worry about today. Famous last words. Oh, there. Working on this one now. Looks like it's just about done. I think they've been working on it before when I came this way, but looks like it's almost done. Shouldn't have any trouble with cell phone reception, assuming that's a cell phone tower right here. I don't know what they're building there. A new school, maybe? There's an old school there, so that would seem the most likely thing. I think that's a school. Are they getting one of the brand new schools like many places have? Sure looks that way. It could be. All right, now we'll go this way into the park. No, it doesn't really take me into the park. It just takes me to that street over there. Oh well, it's heading back anyway in the direction I want to go. Oh, yay. There's someone. Well, this Willett is walking somewhere anyway on a Saturday, every Saturday. Also Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. For something like 135 consecutive days now. Once or twice I've gone a little shorter, like when it's pouring rain or a howling blizzard that one time. But generally it's an hour-ish. I could string them all together and make it like a 200-hour marathon. Well, that's kind of what it is if you start watching the Walking in Regina path playlist, I guess. That's about what it would be. Morning. Oh, hey, there's somebody finally on YouTube. Miriam, hello. You always find me? We'll stick to the park here, at least till Hill Avenue. Looks like I'm in Africa. I'm not. A little too far to go to start my walk. Yeah, this is a big open park, so the trees are around the outside, but then it's all open land in the middle is what's going on here. Hi. Playground. Might also look familiar because I've walked this way before. I don't think the spray park is on this morning. Don't know, maybe it's something people have to turn on when they're there. It doesn't run constantly. That's probably how it works. I don't know what this is, represents this. Strange collection of sidewalks. It could be a logo of some sort, but it looks like it ought to have a garden in it, and it doesn't. So there's the spray park. Somebody's about to turn it on, it looks like. There's that house I always comment on as I come this way. One of my favorites. Never been in it, probably never will be, but I would like to. I'd like to know what the layout is like inside. That's it. Not particularly cool right now, but I know what you mean. one meaning of the word cool, I guess. I'm not feeling very cool at the moment. It's at 23 or 24, and it's going into the 30s. So right now the temperature is pleasant, but when you walk it quickly becomes warm enough. Or when I walk anyway. Maybe I just generate more heat when I walk. That house. That's a nice house. That's an expensive house. It's taking up 2 lots at least, maybe 3, probably 3 lots. So that would certainly boost your taxes. I think I'll stay in the park here until I get to hill, so we'll go back this way. It's a little out of the way, but it works. I guess. Another dog? Yep. Or possibly the same one I saw on the other side of the creek. Yeah, it is. The thing about walking on gravel is the sound of my feet. Makes me feel like I'm moving quick. Crunch, 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 crunch. I always think of the line from Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum. There's a song the General sings. 1, 2, 1, 2. We not only fought, but we won. 2. So we're just walking along. There's people's backyards over here facing on the street, but they have this park behind them, which is nice for them. Oh, that's somebody who takes basketball seriously. Their entire backyard has a basketball court, and then they've got a hockey net. Nice house, though. That's a nice backyard, too, in a different sort of way. Hello. Okay, well, I won't follow the path around because it reverses direction. I'll just go off the end here to the road. What's that? Well, we definitely have our share of thieves in Regina, but it's, you know, some neighborhoods are safer than others. Any area of town can have a break-in. Usually it's somebody breaks into the garage, steals a bicycle, something like that. Lots of bicycle thieves. I've had three bicycles stolen in Regina. Oh, hello, crow. In my years here, always out of my garage. What's this? No. No, watching does not actually count as walking. It's also hard to say. Watching. No, watching. Watching Willett walking. Wow. Won't what? Unfortunately, Willett doesn't work with cardiovascular, so I can't quite do what I was trying to do there. Watching Willett walking is almost a tongue twister. Twister. All this is brand new pavement up to here, which is nice. And this other one is not brand new, but it looks like it was done not too long ago. Is this Argyle, probably? Okay. We're headed this way now. Oh no, probably not Argyle yet. Oh, I've turned myself around because that's Pasco up ahead of me. So I actually did get myself turned around. Well, I guess that's the way I'm going then. I actually want to be going in the other direction here. Well, I happen to know I can walk down an alley here, which will take me back the way I need to go. Alongside the golf course. So I'll go back this way. Just a little out of my way there. Now, where did that turnaround happen? It must have been in the park somehow. I thought I was going north, but I was actually turned around slightly. Oh no, that was weird. Oh well, never lost for long. It's just that going out of my way. This is a golf course over here, par 3, Lakeview par 3. Just makes my walk a little longer than I anticipated. But it's Saturday. I often walk a little longer on a Saturday. Besides, I've only walked down this alley once before, and that was going the opposite direction, so this is like completely different. I guess you call it an alley. It's not really intended to be driven along. They don't get garbage pickup out here or anything like that. I just call it a buffer zone between them and the golf course. Right there. A few people out playing golf. Par 3, that's where I played, actually. Me and my two brothers played golf there on the morning of my wedding. I should say my two brothers and I am a writer. I should try to be grammatically correct. See, I came down the road up ahead of us and went past the Seventh-day Adventist Church there, going the other way, so I now retraced my steps to here, but I won't follow quite the same path going home from here as I did coming. A rather sad-looking play structure. Just faded over the years, I think. A lick of paint would spruce it right up. It looks like they need new gravel down there, too. Another crow, 2 crows, 3 crows. That's an attempted murder of crows. How close will he let me get? About that close. Keeping an eye on me. There's a murder of crows. There's at least 4 there. I think that probably qualifies as a murder of crows. We'll just go straight across here. That'll put us on a different path heading home. I don't think this is where I came out when I first hit the golf course. Maybe it was. I'll find out soon enough. I might have walked down the other side. One of our little free libraries people put up. Sometimes think I should carry a bag of my books with me and stick one in every time I come across one of those. Wouldn't make any money, but I might find a new reader. Oh, it's a very tall blue plant. That's about the limit of my gardening knowledge. Look at that tall blue thing. Oh, there's a pretty yellow thing. Look at all these white things. You can usually recognize a pansy and a begonia. That's what we've got. Otherwise, they're just, look at the pretty white flower. Oh, dandelions. I recognize dandelions. This is Argyle. Okay, I know exactly where I am now. A little further north of the Hill Avenue shopping area, like a block north than I anticipated I would come out. We will walk along Mason Avenue. I wrote a book, How to Become a Mason, back when I was doing a lot of children's nonfiction. I haven't done any now for quite a while, but I did a lot of them. That's why I have 60-some books. A good chunk of those, at least 20 probably, are short children's nonfiction. Why did I quit writing them? Just kind of happened. Publishers changed. New people came along who didn't know me. I worked for one for a while, but they really didn't pay enough for the amount of work they wanted. So I kind of quit working for them. Occasionally I think I should try to scare up some more of that work, but then I think of all the other stuff I got to work on. Here's Montague, which will take us, if I stay on it, would take us right back up to Regina Avenue. But I don't know that I'll walk along it all that way. We'll walk along it for this walk, though. I'll cross if nobody's coming. Nobody's coming. I'll cross. Construction work going on over there. I take the alley just to be, well, not that different. I've walked by these garages before, so I know I've walked down this alley before. Somewhat different. Blue bins for recycling, brown bins for garbage, and in some places there are green bins for yard waste, but that is a pilot program. It's not everywhere yet. Don't know how they decide which roads, which alleys to pave, and which to leave gravel. The one behind our house is paved, but we figure that's because the school bus drives along it. But that seems unlikely here. I guess it could be why. I'll stick to the alley. These for a couple of blocks. More prairie lilies, and whatever those blue flowers are. Am I at the school? No, that's the church. Yeah, I haven't actually walked in front of the church, so I'll go this way. It's only a couple more blocks over to where the footbridge is anyway. So I've mentioned this a few times, so I don't think I've ever walked on the sidewalk right in front of it, so we'll do that today. Lakeview United Church here, where Regina Lyric Musical Theatre has often rehearsed. I've rehearsed shows that I've written and directed here, and rehearsed many shows that I'm in. When I mentioned being in the Adams Family in 2016, we rehearsed that here. This is where Lyric Singers rehearses in the chapel upstairs, and we are starting up again this fall. So there you go, Lakeview United Church. Probably built in the 50s, I would guess. There's a gym that's used by a lot of organizations too. I don't know how big the actual congregation is. I have a feeling it's shrunk quite a bit and it's not very big. Certainly not as big as it was when they built that church, I would guess. Okay, this takes us by Lakeview School again. Usually when I'm here, it's wintertime, rehearsing something. This is all piled with snow and icy and all of that. But we'll get there, and I intend to keep walking in the winter. We'll see how that works. Really cold weather, I don't know how my battery will last, or how the gimbal will react, or how I'll react. It can be so cold, I would make it a very short walk. But that has to be really cold or with a high wind chill. I'm probably good to minus 20 or so walking. I cover my face. I mean, I've walked in, exposed flesh freezes in 30 seconds weather if you dress for it. But it's usually the feet that go. It's hard to keep feet warm. We are behind Lakeview School. Again, I like the brickwork. My assumption is those are torches. I don't know if that's true, that pattern in the brick. Like the torch of education, torch of enlightenment. I don't know that for sure. Hardball is prohibited on these grounds. I wonder how old that sign is. Bet you they did that because they were losing windows. Although a softball will smash a window just as well as a hardball, so maybe it was for some other reason. School built over 100 years ago. How long have I walked on this leg? Yeah, this will be a little longer than usual. I did about 10 minutes on the first leg, and I've done about 50 on this one. And I'm still 10 to 15 minutes from home, so it'll be about an hour and 15 minutes total when I splice it all together. This will take us down to the footbridge. It's kind of a neat little house. I like that symmetrical look. Morning. And a couple of the new ones from the neighborhood as it continues to change from the old houses to the new houses. That's probably an old one that's been redone, although it could be brand new. That's definitely a new one. Lots of windows. And a couple of old ones again, the little ones. Probably post-Second World War, possibly post-First World War. These ones actually might be more like post-First World War housing shortage. Just a guess, but often the little houses, there was a housing shortage after the First World War and again after the Second World War. And that seems to have been when a lot of small starter houses were built for people. As the men came back from the war, I guess I should use the crosswalk. Seems to be enough traffic to warrant it. And of course, as soon as I bothered to do that, there's no traffic. Not for a long way. Hello. I go across the bridge. Didn't really take a look at the creek on my last pass because I was sharing the bridge with multiple people. But there's the creek this morning. And in the other direction. We'll walk along the dike since I didn't do that on the way to the bridge. At least a little ways. Morning.